highway in the early hours of today, causing traffic gridlock. Joy Pius was at the scene and reports that protesters issued a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government to move machineries to sites.
It's quite unfortunate that the road is not good again. Look at the spoiled car. The road is damaged. In fact, there is a lot of kidnapping issue that is happening. If the road is okay, that thing shouldn't have happened.
And it's affecting our vehicle, it's still affecting the little change that we are making from this road, because we are using the money to repair the vehicle every time.
And now, Osrc community in a federal local government area of Ondo State has called for attention of relevant authorities to power outage in the area. Youth who said enough is enough staged a protest to draw intervention to address the community's ordeal. Omoriola Ongbeji says the demonstration halted socio-economic activities while security operatives ensured the grounds did not snowball into lawlessness.
Demonstration has become a regular avenue to express grievances over unacceptable action, situation, or decision taken by authority. Zekiru Aluko is one of the affected victims stranded at the scene of the protest at Osrc community in the federal local government area of Ondo State. He was assigned to supply goods to customers who, according to him, had been waiting anxiously for their deliveries. The youths here are lamenting that they have been in darkness for the past 4 months, with efforts made to correct the situation, all to no avail, pointing fingers at the company handling power for handling the situation with levity. Traders are not left out as they throw their weight behind the youths.
At February 18, I These youths are determined that no vehicle or motorcycle will pass the route, irrespective of passers-by excuse or plea. This is Monday morning when business activities are expected to resume for the week. I'm supposed to be on my way to work. It's affecting me. The money we have been built, with my own family, we have paid. There are more ways of doing things in a civilized way. You don't just, there's no notice, nothing, just block the way and keep people indoors.
Meanwhile, the paramount ruler of the community, the Olurese of Osrc, Oba Ahmed Saka, frowned at the attitude of Benin Electricity Distribution Company, BEDC, towards the community and maintained that he had held series of meetings with the company and community. He appealed to the youths to give peace a chance and allow the authority of the area take proper steps.
We are not the only affected community. It affects Aye, Ikota, Italy, Imo. So it's almost 4 communities that this outbreak, power shortage is affected. I appeal to them that everybody should be calm. We shall be government will come to our aid now to resolve this matter as soon as possible.
As at the time of filing this report, the youths were yet to vacate the scene. Omoriola Ongbeji, Osrc News.
And now to the full gist about the Ado Road. And we told you that Akure Ondo Ekiti Highway is a federal road that has been in a deplorable condition for a long time. Following the collapse of the highway, travelers now drive through longer routes to get their various destinations. Worried by the continued neglect of the road, Akure North Community's Youth President Coalition staged a protest on the highway in the early hours of today, causing traffic gridlock. Joy Pius was at the scene and reports that the protesters issued a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government to move machineries to sites.
It's quite unfortunate that the road is not good again. Look at the spoiled car. The road is damaged. In fact, there is a lot of kidnapping issue that is happening. If the road is okay, That thing shouldn't have happened.
And it's affecting our vehicle. It's still affecting the little change that we are making from this road, because we are using the money to repair the vehicle every time.
Their lamentation speaks volume of the hardship they undergo on this road. Residents and commuters say they have to face harrowing experiences on a daily basis to maneuver to their various destinations. Sometimes last year, hope resurfaced on indications that the road was receiving attention, but that is no longer the story. No signs of reconstruction, and hope is wearing thin. Very early in the morning, Akure North Communities Youth President's Coalition had occupied the road in protest to neglect of the road by the federal government. 21 days ultimatum to return machineries to site and end their agonies is the message they have passed to governments.
The road has become a means of making money for the kidnappers. A means of making money for the kidnappers, and it has become a death trap. Many accidents has happened. Many has happened. So we are only calling on them. We are not demanding for much, only to fix the road, fix this road.
Nigerians' annual traffic fatality rate was reported at over 4,900 in 2020. A major contributor to these statistics is the deplorable condition of Nigerian roads, which are generally poorly maintained. And motorists, including these protesters, say the federal government must swing into action to avert fatalities on this road. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
The National Assembly Petitions Tribunal hearing dispute arising from February by-election Akure North and South Federal Constituency as adjourned sitting till Thursday. At the inaugural sitting of the tribunal in Akure, the Ondo State capital, the incumbent lawmaker Mayokun Alade told the three-man panel to uphold his victory and dismiss opposition's prayers to fourth INEC declaration. Its counsel, Olawole Abiola, argued that the position of the PDP candidate on the by-election collapsed in the face of illegal contest. Osrc's Richard Delesome records that the inaugural session of the tribunal was held on May 13 following the withdrawal of the chairman of the three-man panel of justices, Raphael Ajua, over its relationship with the petitioner's lead counsel.
Following Justice Raphael Ajua's disengagement, President of the Court of Appeal appointed a new chairman, Justice Obadigo, to head the tribunal and hear the petition of PDP candidate Olumuyiwa Adu on the outcome of the February 26 Akure North and South Federal constituency by-election. After counsel appearances in petition number EPT NAS 01-2022 between PDP's Adu and Mayokun Alade, APC and the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC, lawyers pledged to support and cooperate with the tribunal for timely and expeditious determination of the petition. Chairman of the tribunal, Justice Obadigo, said the tribunal is aware of the task before it and promised to administer justice in accordance with their oath of office and the law. After the opening session, the tribunal went into a pre-hearing phase and heard motions from counsel who presented their reliefs to the three-judge panel. Counsel to Mayokun Alade, Olawole Abiola, and that of the APC, Bankole Alabi, in their reliefs, prayed the tribunal to dismiss Adu's petition for incompetence and being fundamentally defective, while backing their submissions with affidavits and written addresses. The lawyers also urged the tribunal to strike out some paragraphs of the petition which border on criminal allegations against some unnamed APC chieftains, hoodlums, agents, thugs, and party stalwarts on the ground of their non-joinder in the petition.
Were basically for the court to dismiss the petition on certain grounds that the petition was incompetent. That was an argument. That's what we argued today, both sides.
But counsel to the petitioner, Olumide Ogidon, opposed the prayers with affidavits and written address, arguing that the criminal allegations made against the unnamed persons have been settled by the Supreme Court judgment in the case of Obasanjo and Yusuf. On the vagueness of his petition, as argued by counsel to Alade and the APC, the petitioner's lawyer, Ogidon, backed this argument with Section 285 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, and therefore urged the tribunal not to grant their prayers.
And that is to the effect that every preliminary issues, every preliminary objections and interlocutory applications in respect of competence of the tribunal, ruling on it must be reserved till the final judgment, and the tribunal agreed with us on that point.
After hearing the parties' argument, the tribunal adjourned to Wednesday, June the 2nd, to continue the pre-hearing session. The petitioner will summon 15 witnesses to prove his case. The first respondent, Mayokun Alade, will call 10 witnesses and present 22 public documents, the same number of witnesses to be called by the second respondent, and the third respondent, INEC, will call 1 witness. Richard Ilesomi, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, the emergence of the PDP's presidential flag bearer for the 2023 general election from the north seems to have ruffled the feathers of advocates of Southern presidency. Proponents of the clamor are left with no choice, prompting calls the Southern leaders to retool their strategies and forge ahead with their ambition. Saeed Arabisala reports that unity of last purpose has become the last straw to clinch the goal.
We thus urge all political parties to follow what will retain the unity of the country and zone presidency to the southern states come 2023.
One of the major conversations that has dominated discourse in the build-up to the 2023 general election is the clamor for a president of a southern Nigeria extraction. At different times, the Yoruba socio-political organization Afenifere, Pan-Niger Delta Forum and Middle Belt Forum have drummed the Southern presidency agenda. The leaders of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the South-South region have also insisted that the next president of Nigeria should come from the southern part of the country. Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, on behalf of the Southern Governors Forum, also made the same call. The various groups, among other things, have premised their clamor on fairness, stressing that after President Muhammadu Buhari's 8-year tenure, a president from the south is important, considering Nigeria's fragile ethnic posture.
I was there as a reporter when PDP coalesced and it was formed in Abuja. People only talk of the post-1998 thing. The real platform that brought PDP together was the landmark birthday celebration for the former military president, Ibrahim Babangida. It was convenient that, okay, because of the frustrations, the threat of disintegration that arose from the annulment of June 12, and the hard-won victory by the political class over our military captors, that this thing would have to rotate, that never again would any part of the country hold everyone by the jugular.
To some political observers, the cause may have suffered setback with the emergence of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar as flag bearer of the People's Democratic Party.
And I'm sure the elected delegates that represented Southeast was almost about 100. So where were they? So that means they tilted somewhere else. So it was a popular going for what they felt was good for them as a political party. So the system had thrown up their best. And maybe the Southerners also were not actually calculative to have been able to see to this extent. Ekiti State, I'm sure, had at least 16 delegates, but none of them voted for the only person, one of the aspirants, that's former Governor Yodele Fayoshi.
While concerns have also heightened that the ruling All Progressives Congress may be forced to give room for a northern candidacy, a political scientist, Dr. Adekunle Akinola, believes the victory of Goodluck Jonathan in 2011 is an indication that a southern president can still be acceptable across Nigeria.
Looking at the APC list, you have so many more people from the southern part showing interest compared to the north. You just have few northerners, maybe 2 or 3. on the list, and majority of them are from the southern part of this country. There are people on that list that can easily match Atiku Abubakar. And don't forget that in 2011, when former President Goodluck Jonathan he contested against Atiku, and he won. So I think there is this non-written consensus in the minds of the political elite that okay, this is how, so that the Nigerian state will not result into full-blown ethnic war.
The need for southern leaders to have sincerity of purpose was emphasized to actualize their cause, while many observers say that the electorates are becoming more conscious of the political realities. It remains to be seen if that consciousness will be translated to the selection of credible leaders in the nation's political structure. Sahira Ibisala, Osrc News.
The Executive Secretary of the Ondo State Agency Against Gender-Based Violence, Bolanle Joel Ogundadigbe, has charged staff not to see the two-day training program organized by the government to empower them as a jamboree. Ogundadigbe, who addressed the participants at the finale of the program, noted the consequences of the gender-related trauma could inflict life scars on victims. Joy Pius is waiting to deliver the reports.
The grand finale of the two-day training organized by the Ondo State Agency Against Gender-Based Violence to upgrade its staff was concluded with a lecture delivered by the Director, Guidance and Counseling Department in the State Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, Mrs. Olufunke Ademuyiwa, who underscored effective counseling in the fight against gender-based abuse.
As that person I want to counsel feels that you will not achieve anything because he or she will not do what will not cooperate with you. For every session, you must have an aim. What exactly do you want to achieve? For your counselor to be effective, it must do what? Achieve its aim.
Another resource person said essence of the training program is defeated if the staff of the agency fail to deploy their professional acumen to handle gender-related concerns.
They are representing government so well that when they see you, they say, no, government is good. That is what professionalism is. The way you do your day-to-day job, especially when dealing with customers, that will make the customer to say, no, government is right. Once you have been able to achieve that, you are a professional, whether you are a cleaner or a PS.
The event also featured a presentation of 2021 Violence Against Person Prohibition and its implementation strategy to highlight alternative mechanisms to resolving conflicts and the role of enforcement agencies in curbing gender-based abnormality, among others.
It is an adoption of the big law, that's the BAP Act 2015, which seeks to prohibit all forms of violence against every person. So it's not just about women or men. The law also makes provisions for offenses and effective remedies for victims. The law also punishes offenders. So a good comprehensive history should be taken, which the survivor or victim tells the story the way he or she wants to tell. When you are dealing with a patient, with survivor, a victim of GBV, you need to be patient. So we don't normally wait for incidental shift that introduce the person. Because it's incidental shift that will tell you this is what happened. Just that, madam, can you tell me what happened?
Participants described the interaction as timely because it availed the opportunity to discuss some of the challenges they encounter in the line of duties. Going by the convictions of the attendees, it is believed that the training would count for them in the discharge of duties. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
And now to sport. Nigerians must have a positive change of mind and embrace inclusive political participation in addressing issues of development in the country. Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu gave the charge at a public lecture and awards presentation organized by Sunshine Standard magazine in Accra, the state capital. Joy Pius again reports that the governor, who was the special guest of honor, was represented by the chairman, Ondo State Radio Vision Corporation Media Group, Kunle Adebayo.
The annual Sunshine Standard Magazine Public Lecture and Awards is in recognition of distinguished personalities whose impacts have been felt positively in society, and as well as raise opinions on various issues affecting the country. The special guest of honor, Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, represented by the chairman Osrc Media Group, Mr. Kunle Adebayo, said patriotism and a renewal of mindsets is key to rebuilding Nigeria.
All of us who are here and beyond, we need to build a new infrastructure of the mind for ourselves if this country will change. You cannot gain if you don't have pains. You cannot ask questions if you don't know the question.
Akeredolu stressed the importance of an all-inclusive political participation to turn around the fortunes of the country, adding that the media must rise up to the challenge.
You need more people, more good heads in party system in this country. You cannot sit and say that thugs are shooting or illiterates are the one controlling party or governance in Nigeria, and you have a university degree or you have native intelligence, you are sitting in your home. We must all be part of it.
The governor therefore encouraged Nigerians to always play positive roles, no matter the situation and challenges. Chairman on the occasion, Samuel Adetuyi, said Nigeria is faced with different challenges that can only be solved through restructuring.
We don't really need to begin to go into how we got to where we are and what it is that we are really going through now. So it is important for us as a nation to be very, very sincere to ourselves and say, do we want to continue in this fashion?
Delivering a lecture titled Addressing Issues of Development in Nigeria, the Available Option, the guest speaker and senior lecturer of mass communication at Adekunle Ajasin University, Akungba Akoko, Dr. Benga Abimbola, highlighted some of the causes of underdevelopment in the country and advocated true federalism as the option to realize good governance.
The federal character says that in anything, we must make sure that every segment is taken care of, that everybody is equally represented. Nigeria can work if we remove this kind of fake federalism, Ojoro federalism we are running. And let us come together and discuss how do we want to run this marriage.
9 distinguished personalities were honored at the event.
We appreciate the honor, but it's not really for the honor, it's really to serve.
It's just a reminder to do more, to give back to the society.
The event also featured the unveiling and presentation of the special publication of the Sunshine Standard magazine. For the publisher, Mr. Oludaisi Adetarami, the annual event is a way of contributing to societal growth.
A very remarkable work for that matter for itself, and developed a very huge capacity to complement other notable media organizations in Nigeria in playing the key role of agenda setting, which is very vital and essential for our development in our socio-political evolution as a country.
This year's edition is the 10th in the series of the magazine's public lecture and awards. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
Team Ondo have won 3 bronze medals and the just concluded Wiser National Junior Championship in Lagos. The medals were secured in the under-13 girls category of the 4-day squash tournament. The bronze medalist Miriam Taufik Favor Awolumate and Adeshewa Adedeji have since returned to their studies at St. Dominic's Secondary School and CAC United, Akure. And with that story, we conclude the news this afternoon. Do join us at 6 for news updates. Good afternoon.